Hey, Great Sunrise family. We're here today doing this interview at 54 Beans Cafe, coffee shop, beautiful coffee shop. And I have the lovely Shamir Wells, I'm sorry, here with us. And I'm going to be interviewing her, and she's going to tell us about her and the shop. And we're going to get into some other questions as well. So here we go. Let's turn the camera. All right, now let's see. Okay. So go ahead and, matter of fact, go ahead and tell us about the shop.
Okay.
And your idea coming up with it.
And coming up with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Fifty Beans is a coffee shop. We are located in Carrollton, and for those who are not familiar with Carrollton, we're actually, if you go to like Hampton, the bottom of down Mercury, we're right across the James River Bridge. As soon as you come off the James River Bridge, we're right in the Food Line Shopping Center. And then those for us on the other side, we're adjacent to like the Harborview area and towards Smithfield. We've been here for a little over a year. We just celebrated our year anniversary last month. So it's been a year operating. I've actually been here for 2, but we actually opened during the pandemic, which set us back almost a year before we were able to open the doors. Coffee. So a long time ago, super long because I'm old, like maybe 12 or 13 years ago, I was attending a women's conference, and they were speaking of your gifts and your passions. And one way to figure out your gifts and your passions is to figure out what to do for free if you still can pay your bills and live your life. And mine always went back to food and beverage restaurants, all through high school, through college. Even when I went into the professional world, I always had my foot in food and beverage, whether I was like working in the kitchen or behind the bar or serving tables. And so I was like, wow, what would I do for free? I would have a restaurant. And so I kind of pursued that vision back then. My husband and I tried to open up a restaurant. It was called 54 Grapes. It was a wine bar, and the 54 was all the bottles of wine that we had, and the grapes on the vine, et cetera, et cetera. And at that time, it just was bad planning. It was a huge endeavor, super over my head. My husband wanted to kind of pursue his career dreams. We had small children, and so we decided at that time to just pause. Fast forward 10 years. In that 10-year time span, I actually really had got into specialty coffee. So every time we traveled, I would look for like a coffee shop to visit like different local coffee shops. So my husband brought it back to my memory actually, because I forgot about it. You know, he was doing good in his career. I was doing fine with mine. I wasn't even thinking about opening a business anymore. And he just said that, you know, we did his dreams and visions with his professional career, and he wanted to make sure that I was still happy, and he didn't want to pursue opening a restaurant. And so we decided to do coffee instead. Low overhead, and then if I wanted to venture off years from now and opening a full-blown restaurant, then I could. So here we are. We kept the 54. We just kind of changed the meaning a little bit. So instead of meaning grapes, 54 actually stands for a vision or your dreams or your passions, just not giving up. Right. And then we put the beans on the end, which represents the now. So that is how we came up with 54 beans and how I opened my coffee shop.
That's beautiful. That's great. That's great. And was it? So that pretty much took care of the who and the what, and the why, pretty much. So
I knocked out all your questions.
Yeah, you did. You pretty much did. You summed it all up. So, let me see. This is different. So, how were you able to, what inspired you to, did you, like you said, you went around and you looked at the different coffee shops, and that helped you, inspire you to be different, to kind of want to stand out?
Actually, my personality is very much like jump in first and
Okay.
then swim later.
Okay.
So I didn't even have a vision for the shop. I knew I wanted a coffee shop, but I didn't know what I wanted to look like. I didn't know any of that.
Okay.
And
Really kind of spend around to let them see as you're talking.
I'll keep on talking.
Okay,
So
yeah.
what happened was in the process of designing my logo, my friend that designed my logo was like, "Well, what is your vision or your mission?" I was like, "My mission." And so we were discussing that, and I decided that I wanted to encourage and inspire and provide a peaceful environment for the people that came into the shop. And so once I figured out my vision, which is to encourage, inspire, it's actually on my window. You can't see it, but the plants are all over the place.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
once we settled on that,
Uh-huh.
then I was able to, from there, kind of figure out how I was going to bring that
Right.
into like tangible. And so we went with like the white and the greenery, which is calming. And so everything, pretty much everything that we do here aligns with encourage, inspire, peace.
Okay.
It keeps us from jumping all over the place and trying to copy everybody else. And if it doesn't align with the vision, then we don't do it. So even something as talking to you, I might not be making coffee,
Right.
but I'm encouraging, and
Yeah, you
inspiring, right?
Yeah,
And so
conversation.
it still
Yeah.
absolutely lines up with the vision
Yeah,
of the shop.
definitely.
Green is calming, white is calming.
Uh-huh.
We have our inspire. So I have my vision on 3 walls. I have Inspire on this wall, and we decided to make this our Inspire wall. So all of the patrons write on it. As long as it's kind, then they are welcome to write on the wall.
Okay.
We have our Encourage wall in the back. That's for the employees. So the staff writes on that wall. And then I have a slight sense of humor. So I decided to put peace in the bathrooms. So in the bathrooms, we have chalkboard walls, and those have the peace on it.
Okay.
In there, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you can see that going around to different coffee shops kind of inspire you in a way. Yeah, because I remember the coffee shop that impressed me because of how it was like open all night long.
Oh, wow, that would
3
be awesome.
That was in California.
Okay.
And people were, and you could tell a lot of intellectuals going there.
Okay.
And they would just be talking, conversating, and just 2 people. Sometimes it was a whole group of people, but it was amazing. Like people were up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, in the coffee shop like that. And that kind of inspired me. I was like, wow, I need something that brings people together like that.
Absolutely. We have the same here.
Yeah.
A lot of times on our Facebook or Instagram posts, we write coffee is our common ground. And so over the year, there have been people that have met in here just randomly, and actually now they come here to meet on purpose.
Right.
So like on Wednesdays, there's a group of guys that come in here and sit at the bar, and they didn't know each other before 54 Beans existed, and now they've made a friendship where they actually come and
meet together
now. And so, we have events here. Like, for example, this Saturday we have yoga. So once a month we have yoga. I don't do it. Someone else. I host it, but someone else comes in to bring the community together. The library is about to do a STEM program here in a couple of weeks, actually. Okay. So we try to be very community driven. And last summer we did free tutoring because of the pandemic, and so we offered free tutoring here on Tuesdays the entire summer. So whatever your child needed help with, we had teachers here that were willing to help the children. So it was pretty awesome.
Great. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So what would you tell someone who wants to go into business like you and your husband did,
Mhm.
but you had a hard time,
Mhm.
and or someone who may be feeling like, how do I get the funds to open a business?
Mhm.
There's always ways. We just have to kind of budget ourselves
Mhm.
out and utilize the money that we do receive, not waste it.
Mhm.
So, what else would you say to
Um,
those people?
I would say that first of all, it's not for the faint of heart.
Uh-huh.
It's rewarding, but it's hard. And I don't want to. People see the finished product, right? But they don't see
Right.
like the iceberg underneath.
Exactly.
So, definitely, you have to have tenacity, not giving up. I would say you have to be quick on making decisions and changing your course, because things in your mind, you have how it's going to run, how it's going to be, but very quickly that can change. So be willing to be able to kind of maneuver in and out. And then as far as finances, you definitely have to save your own money to bring to the table. Because of course people always say you need investors, which is true. However, every even if you go out for investors, they want to see how much are you going to invest in yourself.
Exactly.
Right. So you have to have save and have your money as well to put down on the business. And I always say now, if you think your business is going to cost $10,000 to open, add another 20 to it. If you think it's going to cost $20 to open, add another 20 to it. So it's always more than what you have anticipated for things that you don't see along in the process. And I think that answers those questions.
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and this concludes the interview. Unless you have any last words you want to say, or
No. Come check us out.
Yeah, definitely.
We post all of our events on our Facebook page, which is 54 Beans Coffee. Our Instagram, which is 54 Beans, 54 Beans Coffee. And yes, we would love to have you guys just come right on the wall and relax and see your smiling faces. And I appreciate
Get some
you
good
wanting-
coffee and some good food. And, yeah, definitely. Because they have small plates here, right? Small plates and pastries.
Pastries. Yep.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Okay. With that said, true love will peace, the higher stuff within us, our souls. So next time, peace, family.